Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you'll continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. As the cost of living increases across the Triangle, many are forced to move from where generations of their families have grown up. Some members of the community want to change that by providing work, living, and educational opportunities for longtime local residents. Joining me now are James Montague, President and CEO of F7 International Development, and Neil Kumar, Chief Technology Officer of Global Experts. Welcome to the show, both of you. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
This is one of those stories I can't wait to get into because it's a plan coming together and it has a happy ending, and that doesn't often happen.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to go to you first, James.
Sure.
And let's just start with your story because it's one of those stories I think, you know, people should try to live up to. Kind of the American dream. You started poor.
Yes.
And why don't you take it from there?
Okay. Well, started poor in southeast Raleigh area called Southgate. Mm-hmm. I got to a point where I started cutting hair in my mother's kitchen. I wanted to start my first business since 1983. So I started cutting hair for 50 cents and just built a large clientele of people that would visit from different neighborhoods, from the same neighborhood. And I just got known for being a person that loved to serve people. I went from there to cosmetology, did cosmetology for many years, had a beauty salon, still have it today. Don't do it myself. I actually had a stroke when I was 26 years old.
Oh, man.
And almost died from not knowing how to balance my life and knowing what to do with my time. I was working too much, too many hours, bad eating habits. My thoughts were not right. So, just all types of things were out of balance. And that's kind of how I started.
As I said, that's kind of the American tale, right? You work and you work and you work. But from that, you learned something, didn't you?
Yes.
And the people around you, it sounds like you had this work ethic and drive to succeed. I don't know, what was your ultimate goal? Did you have one at that point?
Well, at the time, I thought I'd be doing hair because I loved doing what I was doing. It wasn't work for me. Even though I was working 7 days a week, 14 to 15 hours a day, I loved what I was doing. It's just that I didn't know how to back it down and have balance and do my schedule correctly. So it ended up making me have health issues. So, but out of that, I understood that the community would support me, and I need to add more value to the community. So we started looking at doing our first commercial structure, first commercial shopping center at the corner of MLK and Rock Quarry Road in Southeast Raleigh. And from there, I started opening up places where people could open businesses and serve the community. Everything from lawyers' offices, transportation companies, daycare, event space, just a bunch of different uses that have been there since 1998 now. So it's been, some of my people have been with me for over 20 years.
I see, you make it sound so easy. Like I just started here and here's where we end up, but it couldn't have been that easy.
No, very difficult.
Why don't we talk about some of the challenges maybe that you faced? Because you're trying to overcome that for a lot of the folks you're helping now.
Sure. Well, the first challenge, the major challenge was actually not having the background and experience to do the project and going around bumping my head against brick walls trying to make things work. I actually ended up going to 17 different banks trying to get financing for the first building that I built. So I got 17 no's before the first bank told me yes. So the major challenge was figuring out, number one, how to do it and how to make a proposal that will attract the money that I would need in order to do the business that I needed to do.
And when you got that first yes, how did that feel?
I did cartwheels.
Did you?
It was really, it was surreal. It was very inspirational, and it just let me know not to give up, and it's possible. And it showed me how you can combine your faith and your action and, what could be the result of sticking to something and putting all into it. Everybody thought I was crazy because they said, you keep trying to do the same thing, but I modified the way that I was doing it. And I modified my proposal, modified the way I did my business and the way that I approached the community. And I got a lot out of it. Even though it took a long time to get the first one, I got a lot out of it.
Sounds like you're very confident. Was there ever that time where, well, I now owe a lot of money And this has got to work. Did you ever have any insecurity, or were you always this confident?
No, I was always insecure about it.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Well, don't show it, my friend.
The security didn't come into you actually got the yes.
Yes.
But I had to actually visualize that one day this thing was going to happen. Even when it looked like it wasn't going to happen, I never wanted to give up. Even though it seemed like it would never work, I said, well, I'm in here. I'm in here now. I might as well go all the way with it. And I built up the confidence after then. And since I've been doing the development, I've built up a lot of confidence because now this is my skill set.
Well, and let's talk about that. Initially, when you that first project of yours, what was the main reason you got into it? Was it just from a business standpoint and financial growth, or did you have some other reasoning behind it, something else driving you?
I mean, you got to think about it. It was almost 30 years ago in Southeast Raleigh. And it was in the area where even people that grew up with me were like, I wouldn't build anything over here.
There you go.
You know, this is the hood. Why are you building here? And I wanted to just show something different. I wanted to create something that people would be proud of. The building we actually built was right beside Martin Luther King's statue. So I wanted to take the principles that Dr. King talked about and implement them and make something that people could actually see. I mean, that was what Dr. King was talking about was back in the 60s. So when you're skip 30 years and nothing is really going on in the community, people start to give up and start to lose hope. I wanted to build something at the time that would make people get hope and faith and understand that we can add assets in our own communities and things that we could be happy that are there.
Yeah, and so much of it, and we'll get into this, isn't it true with the cities, especially successful ones, the neighborhoods, you're priced out of the market.
Yes.
You lose it. You lose your home and your businesses. And from that, and we'll kind of transition into this, you have a new project.
Yes.
And Neil will get into that as well. But tell us a little bit about that. Set it up for us.
Sure. So, directly after we did our project called Statue Side Business Plaza, which was the first building, we went directly into doing the retirement home, which is called Elders Peak. So we built a 48-unit apartment complex, my wife and my family and I, called Elders Peak, 32 bedrooms and 16 two-bedroom units for seniors 62 and up. Because we wanted people that grew up in that area not to have to move out when they got older and have a place they could feel safe and it's close. It's literally like a mile away from where the first building was. So it's called Elders Peak, and we celebrated 20 years this year of building that building.
I bet people who are watching know this, especially if they have a mom and a dad who grow older. That tie they have to the community is everything. They don't want to go anywhere else. So that is huge.
Yes.
Well, we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about another plaza that you've opened and bears your name.
Yes.
And what that's all about. So Neil and James, I appreciate you hanging out there. And for the rest of you, stick around because this is a story that has a real happy ending. We'll be right back.